So today's review will be covering the Rylo 360 camera. Very cool. What you can see is tracking every single movement that I make in the video. And you'll see as to how I actually went about that. But before then, I'll be giving a very good review, or hopefully good review, as to the camera and if you might actually want to get it. And also, you most likely would be wondering what that little circle is on the right. In the video, I'll be explaining it, but it is the front and back feature when using the 360 recording. As you can see, this is just a sample 360 photo cropped out of a full 360 image. And yes, test recording again of the nighttime. Quite a lot of noise, unfortunately so. Camera does not have any manual controls. I won't mention that later in the video, but just to let you guys know, no manual controls. So you can't really do much about the quality during the night. And yeah, as you can see, this is a photo of me in the nighttime. Now onto the unboxing. Okay, so as you can see, this will be the Rylo. What you do get is the camera and then also the nifty carry case. Presumably so with the attachment there, you can actually even use it with any existing GoPro accessories if you want to use that. But yes, this will be the main attraction that I'll be covering, and most likely I'll see if I'll review it against the other 360 cameras. But for now, this will be an independent review of the Rylo 360 camera. Okay, so just to give you a quick overview, as you can see that this is actually designed in California, made in China. So sounds like another Apple product, to be quite frank. I think that's what they're trying to pan for, but yeah. As for the technology, a dual wide angle lens, 4K 360 spherical videos, 6K, okay, panorama photos. I'm not too sure how that translates into pixels, but yeah, I'll let you guys know later on. An aluminum alloy body, OLED status display, expandable SD card storage. I'm not too sure if it actually comes with SD card storage. And yeah, quite a lot of nifty things out of the box. I think you can actually start using this straight out of the box. It comes with the camera, a battery pack, a USB cable. I'm not too sure if that's micro USB or USB type C, a lightning sync cable, a protective pouch, and yeah, like I said, the micro SD card, which you don't find with your GoPro or any 360 camera, to be quite frank. The only exception would be the Theta. The Theta comes with internal storage, so that's why you necessarily not need to use a micro card or actually a micro SD card to use that. So now let's just see as to how easy this is to open with one hand. Very simple. This is literally the camera, as you can see. They've actually taken so much care when it comes to packaging. I can tell you, I've gone through quite a lot of unboxings and they feel kind of horrible. So yeah, basic instructions on how to actually even use this. There's even the pouch. I think the pouch would actually be able to carry even the cables as well. So you even see that there's this micro USB to lightning. So obviously it uses a micro USB port, unlike the GoPro Fusion that actually has a USB Type-C connector. But yeah, I think micro USB cables are going to be around for quite some time. But moving on into the future, I think we'll be seeing more USB-C devices, and then obviously I think just making it so much easier. Yes, and I know, as you can necessarily see, is that this is the battery that comes with it, so you can actually change it out like with the GoPro. I am recording this part again because I did continue rambling as to other things rather than the camera. Now, moving right along. And they weren't lying about the memory card that actually comes with the Rylo, which is actually a 16 gig memory card. I can see that it isn't a high-speed one compared to the other ones that I am currently using. But yeah, what I'll actually just be doing is I'll be dropping this and using a high-speed card. As you can see, this is a 64 gig card, a V30 rated card. Again, I will be covering this in another video as to the difference between these same memory cards, but just to be on the safe side, I generally go for something that at least is able to capture at a decent frame rate, because that is currently the one issue that I do have with another 360 camera that I have, being the Mi Sphere, where it does lag if you don't have a high-speed card. And that is 128 Samsung card that I'm using in the other one. But yes, again, I've necessarily just switched to what I do know best, which is a SanDisk Extreme 64 gig V30 card that is necessarily going to be capable of even shooting 4K footage. Okay, so moving on to actually powering the device, I've put in the battery and I've also put in the 64 gig memory card. As you can see, it even says as to how many minutes you can record, I presume, with the memory card, not the battery life itself. So yeah, how I connect to this, is there an option? Oh, okay, I am currently recording. So yeah, it seems very basic. I'm hoping that I can actually connect to the Wi-Fi with this, but from my very first impressions, I think I might necessarily need to wire this up to my phone to actually get content around. What I'll actually try and do is I'll take photos and move them from my OnePlus onto my iPhone, because I am still trying to keep this a very mobile friendly editing environment for you to actually see as to how these actually perform. So another thing was obviously the carry case for the Rylo. Just want to take this out. Yeah, okay, cool. And yeah, as you can see, this is pretty much your little selfie holder, and then also the case for it. Other than that, yeah, it would be the attachment screw. And then, what is this? I think this might be a bit of like a, yeah, this is actually useful. Something that you can put around your wrist so you can actually hold the camera if at any time you need to obviously just go about and not have to worry about holding it like this the whole time. But yeah, I'll just be attaching this and then getting some test footage out of this. Okay, so just to show you, this is pretty much like your GoPro, where you've got a simple carry case that just snaps open, and then you can just put in your Rylo. Yeah, so I'll just be putting it in like that, and then yeah, got that there. See if it clips. What do I have to do here? Yeah, so it seems like it's just self-clipped. And then obviously you do have the attachment that, yeah, this is not something that you can do with one hand, Jerry, so you'd require two hands. But then again, so as you can see, I've attached the selfie stick to the Rylo itself. I thought that it might not fit, but it actually does. It's only the selfie stick which has an issue. I have tried this with other GoPro accessories, such as the Shorty selfie stick that comes with the Fusion, so no worries about that. Yeah, now moving right along as to the features of this little camera here. Another quick one, as you can see, this is the wrist attachment. And yeah, if you are going to be carrying around, you can put it on your wrist. Okay, so as you can see, this cable here, it's not really a deal breaker, but if, for example, you want to use something like this here, this uses a USB Type-C connector, and as you know, most phones these days actually come with this connector. And unfortunately, so this is actually the iPhone edition. As far as I know, there is the Android edition. But yeah, I need to actually get a USB Type-C to micro USB, which is actually the connector used for this camera, in order for me to transfer things onto here. But if, for example, I'm transferring things onto the computer, there's no worries, because it's just a micro USB to USB Type A. USB Type A is just your normal USB to keep things straightforward for all of you guys. But again, yeah, the one thing I do realize that it is not a wireless camera. So if you want to just like instantly share things or be a bit more wireless, that's the only problem that you'll have. But because it is connected directly to my iPhone, it should be faster compared to what I do face when I'm transferring things wirelessly. Okay, so just to clarify a few things, as you know, the camera can record in 4K and can take 6K images. Just to put that into perspective, 6K is 9.36 more pixels than 1080p and 8.78 pixels more than 2K. I would not necessarily know as to the mathematics for 4K, but yeah, when looking at it, to keep it in simple terms, it takes 19.4 megapixel pictures. This phone, no, actually, the camera is not meant for taking photos. I will demonstrate that and show it to you right now as to what I mean. Okay, so what you can see here is that this is the camera. The button at the top would turn it on. It will indicate as to how much battery life there is. Yeah, right now it's actually in photo mode. What you can do is that there is this button here on the side. When you press it, it switches the modes. But when you press for photo, I don't know if there is a timer. I am still trying to investigate that. But if at the end of this video I've not told you as to get that sorted, this is how you take photos with the same thing. So you've got this here. You switch it to photo mode and you press the button, and you have to be quite quick. I don't understand as to why exactly they don't have a timer if you do want to take these 6K images. But yeah, your best bet would be to just record the video that you want and then crop it out from there. You can actually take a screenshot. As far as I know, I'll be demonstrating that in the use of the app, but that is the one disappointment that I do have with such a camera. I can see that it is necessarily more towards cinematic videography. I'll show you that because of the way that it is able to stabilize and focus on one subject in a video. But other than that, yeah, I would not necessarily recommend this, considering as to what I've actually had to go through when using this. And from what I can tell you, for the price, it goes for $299 USD. So if you want to get this camera, fine. The other disadvantage with the camera is that it is not waterproof. So if you want to go with this camera compared to the GoPro or GoPros, be that as a Hero or even the Fusion, you have to be careful with this camera. I would not want to test if it is water resistant, but as far as it goes, you actually have to buy a separate case in order to protect the Rylo if you want to use it in a water environment. And a quick note as to battery life. So this one can only take around 60 minutes on a single charge. The nice thing about the Rylo is that, like the GoPro, you can actually take out the battery and you can switch it out with any spares that you do have. I've not been able to see if there is a battery charger, so that is another thing that would be quite awkward in regards to you having to charge overnight. If anything, it'll mean that you have to charge, wait for it to finish fully charging the one battery that's inside here, then take it out, and then charge the other battery. But yeah, other than that, when it comes to the video quality, which you'll be seeing in the videos later on in this video, is that they are actually quite good. Only problem I am seeing is that there is a bit of a yellow hue, which I know Ben Claremont, he does the Life in 360 YouTube channel, spoke about as well. And I think if, for example, you're on your computer, you can also do some color correction to sort that out. But yeah. Now moving on to getting the app. So obviously, if I were to use this camera, I need to have an app, hopefully. And now I just go into the App Store. I just search for Rylo, and yes, get the Rylo app. Now just waiting for the app to download. You should be able to see that this is a bit of a preview. You can use it as a 360 camera, like what I already stated. There's also the cinematic stabilization, the tiny planet, front and back, yeah, and single tap directing. It's actually quite awesome when you actually use the app compared to what I've actually had to face with other applications. And yeah, voila, now the app is opening up. As you can see, just showing you a 3D representation of it. Yeah, you swipe up, you have to connect that Rylo camera. Okay, now I'm connecting the cable. Yes, and as I had mentioned before, here is the silly configuration where I have to connect the cable to my phone. 1, 2, 3, and yes, you should be able to see that it is now syncing. Yes, and there is an app update available for the camera. It doesn't take so long. I was quite surprised by the speed of the update, but yes, now taking it from the update Now into opening up the app, as you can see, you can look around just to show you what 360 pictures do look like. Yeah, quite nice looking around and seeing as to what's there. You swipe up, you can see that it's unstable. When I press the button, yes, now it's stabilized. Amazing. And also, same thing with following a subject in a video. So what you can see is that you just hold and tap and click on follow, and you can see the person is being followed. Now I need to type in my email. Yeah. Now you can see the footage that I have actually taken on the Rylo. It isn't that slow to download because it is connected directly to your phone. When you just tap, 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 you'll be able to see that, hey, it just comes right to your phone quite quickly. So that's the advantage of obviously there being a cable between the phone and the device. Probably I would like this to be an option for 360 cameras other than just having the wireless option. But yes, I am in Starbucks. You can see that I'm just like panning around. That photo, I can tell you, I literally had to freeze for like 2 seconds to actually get that shot. And again, yes, this is the Mall of Africa, just panning around, just looking and seeing as to what exactly is there. And yeah, that would Okay, so looking at my content that I've already downloaded, I just want to show you as to how the software performs and what you can actually do right out of it. But yeah, as you can see, here I am. I'm going to be just tapping on the image. Yes, as you can see, I'm panning around, and yeah, that's just me. That's me there. When I tap, you can see that there's this front and back feature that was shown in the App Store. It indeed does work. So you can probably take a selfie and have the other person on the other side of the camera, which is kind of dope if you just want to upload a normal photo rather than a 360 photo. And yeah, what else can be seen here? What you can see is that, again, you can just pan around. You can select as to what to save to, and yeah, with the saving options, you've got 360 or a normal photo. But yeah, this is kind of awesome, especially if you want to upload this to Facebook and you want to keep it as a 360. You see, I just pinched, it turns it into a tiny planet. So this is literally what you get when you turn a 360 into a tiny planet. Very intuitive. I didn't even have to think about how to do that, but yeah, you've got that button at the bottom left where you tap and it inverses the view of the 360. So depending on what type of a view you want to take, that's kind of cool. And now moving on to a video shot just in the morning, just to show as to how well this tracking feature works. So here I was just walking to my car. I just wanted to see as to if we could actually follow my swift movements in the video. As you can see, yeah, this is me not even moving the phone, and it is literally just tracking me in the video. So imagine what you could do if you were doing something a bit more cinematic with this camera, and this is all being done on the phone. No need for a computer, just on the phone. And there are a few 360 video editors out there that you can use, but literally I could even just see this for a normal video. And as you can see, there are a few options you can tap around and use. The one option here is to save. You can save it as a 360 video. Unfortunately, so the audio is not spatial. And yeah, you can see, you can even edit, see as to which features you might want to play with, be it as the lighting, be it that there's a few other things like, for example, the saturation of whatever you're actually looking at, even the speed. Funny enough, the speed was not working. So try to discard it, try to apply it again, still not working. Yeah, but you can see just changing the contrast. Yeah, it's discarding those. And again, here's a level to make sure that things are straight. You can play around with that. Yeah, I'll just discard those as well. But yeah, overall, you can see as to the crop. If I was going to be recording this as a normal video, you can crop it either way. There's a cinematic view as well, but I'll just discard those. And yeah, these features for editing are not just exclusive on the video. I'll just show you quickly that they can also be done on the photo. So even with the photo, I'll just pinch it out of the tiny planet. I'll just rotate my phone because it seems like it is picking up that it is still in horizontal mode. And yeah, you can still play with the same sort of editing settings. But again, this is not your photo editing or actually photo taking camera. That's the only thing that was a bit of a schlep when using this camera. But yeah, that is pretty much it. And I hope you guys enjoy this video.